me go ahead and get this together. It's your boy Obz here. Day 59. Bam. Day 59. Do it to life for life. Do it to you. Do it to 2021. A whole year of breast cancer awareness and personal growth. Day is Wednesday. I guess you wonder why I'm in here, not outside, right? It's because I woke up late. Day 59 is tough. But I mean, it's like traveling, right? It's like I'm traveling in the city. Then you get to that interstate, the in between cities, where there's really nothing to look at, just grasslands, not really a lot happening, no curves, no roads. So it's just kind of straight, kind of monotonous, kind of chugging along. And that's when you want to be able to set a cruise control. I don't have a. I think I'm on cruise control at 59, but it's not a lot happening, right? So what I do is just think about the destination, just like we do on any other trip. Just think about the destination. But one of the things when I woke up, because this is what I believe today is going to be S, which is the seeking part of the ask method, which is from Matthew chapter 7. A we do on Mondays, S's we do on Wednesdays, and K's we do on Thursdays. I mean Fridays. But this is seeking. Seeking with the anticipation of finding. Seek and you shall find. So I've been seeking and seeking, and even if I thought I found a little something, I still keep looking because I think it's more to find out there. And what I've been, when I woke up, because here's the deal, here's the beauty of it. Just because I'm seeking, it seems like everything else kind of clicks into place. Remember, I told you that I remember a quote where it say, from word is your one, I come in this world financed by God with all that I need already on my pathway. And since I'm on this path, all these resources are already on the path. So at day 59, guess what I got? I got day 59 resources. At day 60, guess what I got? I'm going to have day 60 resources. It's beautiful. Because when I woke up this morning, I was just thinking, you know what, man, it's getting kind of tough, kind of tough. And then I turned on, like I said, the main thing I do in the morning, grab my phone, turn on either the Bible on YouTube, or I turn on TBN and listen to some sermons. So one of these things it was talking about was James. It was in the book of James, and then I was looking in that book of James, and then I think it was the lady. I can't remember her name right off the top of my head, but you know what I'm talking about. She's on TBN. But anyway, she was talking about out of James about having about patience, the attitude while you're waiting. What are you doing while you're waiting? Patience is more than just waiting; it's an attitude. And and in James it said, while you're waiting, keep doing what you're supposed to be doing. Meaning, he was talking about a farmer while the farmer is waiting for the crops to kind of come in. He's still nurturing, he's still planting, he's still pulling weeds, he's still fertilizing, he's still watering, he's still tilling the soil, he's still doing those things while he's waiting for the harvest. He's not rushing the harvest. He said you don't want to rush the harvest or anything like that. So I said, okay, I got this patience because I got this thing set out 3 years, you know, 2 years, 5 years, whatever it's gonna be, is set out there, right? So, guess what? I'm still seeking. I'm in this attitude, right? It's a book that I listened to, and it's a pretty good book. It was called The Go Getter, and inside the Go Getter, right? The Go Getter was talking about one part of it was you got to be able to receive, and that was a big chapter for me. A lot of times we're thinking about giving, right? But are we thinking about receiving? We have to be in a he said take this. I know giving is good, but you have to receive. It's natural. He said go ahead and give all the air that's in your lungs right now. Just exhale continuously. How can you exhale? He exhale. He say, but you're gonna get to a point where it's natural to receive, or else you're gonna die. He say, so you can't give all the time. You can be a giver and give, but you can't give everything away. You have to be in a mode to receive. Once those resources come to you, you got to be able to receive them, and that's another habit. That's another level to the onion that you gotta, because it's two sides. Giving and receiving is on the same stick. A lot of times we focus on the giving, but we also the focus on the receiving is very important. So I knew that. I was thinking about that. I said, okay, then. So I got to be in a receiving mode, because if I'm in a seeking mode, I'm seeking, seeking, seeking. Now I got to still be receptive for what's coming through, because I don't want to miss it. See, because sometimes we could try to put God in a little box. Hey, I want to get my blessing on my paycheck. It's this in a box. You're looking at one way, and you're just not looking at all the millions of other ways that you could be blessed. Because a lot of times the blessings will come through and they're not for you. You give it to somebody else, and they say, you know what? I don't have room for this, but since you give me that, you take this, and it's exactly what you needed. You see what I'm saying? Or that person was wanting to see, what would you do with the gift that was given to you? Are you a conduit? If so, then they already had this. People set you up on tests. You never know who looking and who testing you. But you always got to have the right motive. You know what I'm saying? You always got to have the right mindset. And I think that's the key thing as far as receiving. Also, too, right after I listen to that, right? So I listen to that. I said, okay, I like James. I like that. Okay, then being a little bit patient. And then I listened to this other little story. It was called it was the 48 Laws of Power. I just started listening to that. I hadn't had a I never wanted to listen to it. I don't think my roots was in ground in the right point, because the 48 Laws of Power, the great laws, but then they put a little twist on the end that didn't kind of go on the road that I was on. But I understand, one thing, that the laws are all based on truth, which is the Bible. You know, they're based on truth, so the laws in themselves are good laws. But just like with anything else, with any kind of great invention come the converse of great destruction. You see what I'm saying? And so it's always coming together like that. So those laws can be tweaked and gauged to any way you want to gauge them. But so I go ahead and listen to it, because it's some younger youth that I wanted to reach that was just listening to this. I wanted to see what they were talking about. So anyway, I put on this laws of power, right? Go to right to my point, and guess what it's talking about? It's talking about patience. I said, yeah, I just got through listening to patience. He said, yeah, you're supposed to be patient. Don't try and rush the thing. You got to be in a way of kind of going with the flow a little bit. It's like surfing. You just can't make a wave out of no way, but you got to ride the wave when the wave comes in. Be prepared for the wave that's coming in, and then if the wave is not coming in, you don't want to go like in a rip current. You get caught in a current, you don't want to go straight against it. You just want to kind of ride it and kind of inch your way off to the side, and that's what you want to do. Same thing with it. You don't have to hit what I'm learning. I don't have to hit everything head on, and that's what this is about. Having patience. And I'm looking at professional football. Guess what they say about the running back? He has that patience, waiting for the play to develop, waiting for everything to open up. Because if I have the anticipation that I'm on the right path, and my 60-day resources are already right, already laid on the path, then I won't be so anxious where I got to try and to borrow some resources on day 59. I'm not going to go out and borrow some resources. And that's what, and that story right there in the Bible, guess what? After I listened to that, right? So I listened to that, I heard both of them talking on patience. And so now they help me kind of sit back in and just think about, okay, all right, all right, all right. It's day 59. It's some other things that I would love to do. And that's why I think this patience coming in. Because I've been, sometimes we get the full picture, but then, all the steps ain't in. So sometimes we thinking about that full picture, trying to make it come to fruition. But he said, don't force it. Just relax and do the things, hit the small dominoes, keep going step by step because I know where it's leading me. And then it'll start to develop, and then the time is right. Because sometimes things that come my way, you're not prepared for it. I mean, one time when the lottery was at $1 billion, right? I mean, it's at $1 billion. I don't play the lottery, but I said, Dad, I'm gonna go ahead and play a little bit. Let me go ahead and get in on the pool. Then I say, you know what? I'm gonna go a step further because I'm gonna go in anticipation of the thing. Seeking out find. So if I did win the lottery, what do I do with the money? Write it out. Everybody say the regular, because that was working on my plan. And what would you do with the money? Okay, everybody say I'm gonna pay off everything. I'm gonna buy new everything. And I'm gonna travel everywhere. And then I'm gonna give some away. And then what? Then what? That takes what? I had a guy retire and he did all those things. Took him 2 years to travel all his places on his bucket list and do all this thing. 2 years he done. So it's got to be something bigger than that. You got to have something even bigger. Because a lot of times, I always say it's like the sword and the stone, the Excalibur, pulling out the rifle. Only the rightful owner can pull that out of the stone. Only the rightful owner can open that door. So I would have to become that rightful owner, and then pulling it out of the stone is not a big task. It's not as big as I think it is. Just like when I'm climbing this mountain, man, that peak is out of here. How in the world I'm gonna climb this mountain? But it says as you start climbing, you start getting stronger. Ideas start coming. And as you get closer, you find out, boom, there's a chairlift at the bottom, man, gonna take you to the top. But you couldn't see that way back there. All you thought about is the drudgery of climbing the mountain. And sometimes our brains do that, see? Our brains make up all this stuff, all these rules, and all these scenarios that it paralyzes me. Dude, it paralyzes me. And then sometimes I get so paralyzed on so many things I gotta do, is that I come home and I say, you know what? If I don't do number one thing, if I just do one thing, then just for the whole day, I'm just gonna plan one thing. And then I knock that one thing out and I said, oh, I still got 23 hours left. That only took an hour. 23 hours and 58 minutes. It only took 2 minutes once I decided that's what I was going to do, the one thing. So now I need to write more, right? This is part of that patience. It's writing. Reason sometimes I don't like to write because I'm too busy thinking. Stephen Covey once said, you know, came up on the guy that saw in the tree, chopping down. Hey man, why don't you go ahead and how long you been doing it? Oh man, I've been at it all day long. He say, won't you maybe sharpen the axe? He say, sharpen the saw. Here's what sharpen the saw. Won't you sharpen the saw? He said, man, I'm too busy sawing. I ain't got time to sharpen them. I'm trying to get. I'm making progress. Can't you see all this sawdust coming out of here? He said, but you've been at it forever. Take a second. And sometimes we got to put in the work, come back, let it breathe, and then push in some more. Come back and let that breathe, and then push in some more. And that's where I'm at right now. That's where I'm at right now. I still got all this behind me, right? All this is me. I can stand back and look at all of it and not let it overwhelm me. And that's what this is. It's just me, just like my thoughts right here. They always with me. They always moving around. And then if I turn around and look at one, boom, it's going to trigger something. It could take me off my path. I don't know if you guys saw the Instagram post I put up by looking in the rear view. Sometimes you look in the rear view mirror and it's just absolutely gorgeous. You say, dang, it's so beautiful, man. We just came from that. I just came through that. Man, I'm looking back right now, man. That was wonderful. That pop, man, that was wild. And then, but if you keep looking in the rear view, you're gonna end up running into something. Crashing, burning. Or you may not even realize that was just some faded in comparison to what's coming. But it looks so familiar, so beautiful, you wanted to go back there. This is what the guy said on the Miracle Morning. This one of his sayings was I can't change that, you know? You gotta have your little catchphrase, your little phrase that kind of snap you out of it. You know, I can't change that. That's in the past. What can I do now? What's the one thing that I can do to such by doing to make everything else easier or unnecessary? I'm saying it every day. Day 59. I'm doing it on my TikTok. That's all I gotta say. If I don't do anything else for the next 300, 200 some days, guess what? That's enough. It's gonna move the needle. So this your boy Obz, seeking patiently in anticipation of finding. I know it's already on my path. Hope you guys got the book. Tomorrow is Thursday. It's gonna be Four Agreements. I'm gonna go upstairs, read some about the Four Agreements, and then in the morning we're gonna be right back at it. Cause I'm gonna be going to the next level there as well too, digging in a little deeper. It's your boy Abdi. Do it to life for life. Do it to you. Do it to 2021. A whole year of breast cancer awareness / personal growth. And maybe one of these days I'll be able to look at some of these comments. But right now, it's only one thing I'm doing, just posting. Chronologically just posting and putting it up there so you can see what I'm doing.